Here.
Poindexter.
Here.
Mancini.
Here.
McCorkle.
Here.
Scott.
Here. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll go to the agenda. We have no minutes to approve this evening. Nothing under discussion, so we're going to move right to the Finance Committee. Councilman Scott.
Thank you, Council Chair. Finance Committee's got 2 items tonight on the agenda. First one is an ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor to accept the contract terms and conditions with web-based Arbiter Sports LLC, authorizing an administrator for said programs for the purpose of scheduling and paying referees for youth sports programs, authorizing an amount not to exceed $30,000 for said service for the period covering the calendar year of 2026, and declaring an emergency. This was introduced by Mayor. Mayor, all yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. The ordinance in front of you is one that we tried to introduce a couple of years back, and this will help with operations of the rec center. It'll help with efficiency of paying our referees. The system it's an automated system for pay. Right now, we are cutting checks, and it's something that's making it a little bit more difficult for us to be able to attract referees into our sporting programs. So for more technical information, I'd like to defer to the Recreation Director, Mr. Wetmore.
Hello.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, thank you, Mayor. Yeah, currently, the process that we go through in order to have an official be paid through our system is we have them fill out independent contractor worker acknowledgement through OPRS, which basically states that they're not an employee of the city and do not get OPRS benefits, which is an extensive sheet in itself. And then we have them as a Ohio new hire reporting form, and then we have the officials sign-in sheet here. Then our staff goes through each payroll and verifies this, goes through, make sure that they indeed work those games, and we send it over to the finance department. The finance department then has to do their checks and balances on the all forms, and then process the payments throughout. So it's a very cumbersome process. Streamlining this is where all of the other organizations and municipalities in the area have been using Arbiter Pay for some time, and what it is basically is the funds get put into the account, and all we do is verify that the referees did indeed fact work those games, and then the finance department can go ahead and click the payment, and that will allow Arbiter Pay will 1099 them at the end of the year. They're not employees of the city, and for a small fee, processing fee, we can avoid an extensive amount of work on our behalf, and probably a larger fee. So.
Is that all, Mayor?
That's all I have.
Questions? Councilman Mancini.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through the chair, could you guys hear me back there?
I think we got to go up a little bit.
Okay, a little bit?
That's
Okay.
what I was trying to squeak.
Through the chair, as I talked to the Recreation Director and the Mayor brought this forward, I heard 2 words that I thought were very, very important in this. Efficiency, thank you. I could think it's a little better now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Efficiency through the mayor, and I thought you used streamlining. Because when we play these other cities, when we do the Titan football, and I believe they do these processes too that you're looking to do, it resonates with the referees. It makes it a lot easier. More importantly, Councilman Salvatore will know with the baseball is to get them to come here. if I do stand corrected on that. Because a lot of times it won't, some of the things they have to put up with actually too, but that's another story, but go ahead.
Absolutely. We have a more rigorous process that we go through here, which can be a deterrent to officials. So I agree with you on that, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think it's money well spent, so thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Councilman Troyer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through the chair to the rec director. Chris, so I seem to remember us, this being in front of us, and I thought we passed it. So we're not currently in this program?
No.
We are currently not in the program.
I know we had it in front of us before.
Mr. Chairman, if
Okay.
I- through the chair to Councilman Troyer, we had introduced it, it made it to caucus, and then there was a motion that it was discussed. And council's direction was that we needed to proceed with our past practice.
2023, right?
Yeah, I think that was 2023, 22, 23.
Okay, so, again, I'm going to continue, Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead.
Chris, so this pricing is, I mean, it says, the last page, it says min-max new. Is that, can you explain that? Because it's kind of, doesn't list what it's for or that kind of thing, that kind of stuff.
So if a referee were to make under $75, if they make $74.99 and under, the processing fee per that payment would be $1.93.
Okay,
Between 75 and 149.9 would be the 248.
Okay, I got you. So that's what, all right, that sounds reasonable. So, yeah, that's why it says new, so my question was gonna be what was the old, but since we weren't in it, there really is no old.
Correct.
All right, thank you very much.
Councilman
That's it.
DeFore.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through the chair to the Recreation Director. The fact that we've discussed this before kind of explains my first question was, so the bottom of the payor agreement says it's from April 1st, 2023. There's links under the subscription order form. So I went to that. It turns out there's actually a new payor agreement, which is dated August 15th, 2024. So I just want to make sure that the law department has a chance to look at that. It's updated on their website. You can check it out. The second question I had was just on page 5, section 9. It says, you are responsible for all transactions conducted on your account using your username and password, regardless of whether or not they were authorized by you. Makes sense, right? Obviously, if your account's doing something, you're responsible for it. I guess I was just kind of curious about their security practices for their platform, if it's like, if they have two-factor authentication, if they have like a SOC2 report, stuff like that. Just because if they're not following best practices and that information gets leaked and gets used, well, we're responsible for it regardless of how it gets out there, right? So, do you know anything about those things?
So how it works is our assigner would put those in. So they would go through their assigner. They would input their information through them, and then the assigner would then assign games to us. And so I would assume, and that there is extensive measures in place for that. If you would like, I can get exactly what that is.
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, it was more of a curiosity thing, but really, I mean, my first thing I wanted to bring up was just that the contract in here is out of date compared to what's on the website. So just want to make sure we cover our bases on that. But yeah, I think this is a good program. Excited to get it adopted. Thanks. That's all I have.
Councilman Poindexter.
Thank you, Chairman. Through the chair to the rec director, or maybe the finance director, about how many transactions a year do we do? How many checks did we cut last year? Do we have an idea?
Through the chair to Councilman Poindexter, I don't have the exact number. I can pull that number, but I know we're going to spend about $28,000.
$28,000.
$28,000
For-
throughout the year.
Directly to the referees and umpires.
Correct.
So would the $30,000 then be enough to cover the fees for all those individual checks? You don't expect the fees to add up to the $2,000?
Yes, it should cover it.
Okay. Now, so the way this is gonna work, basically, we're gonna load the full $30,000 into that account and then draw from there?
What we're going to do is we're going to do probably about 5,000 to 10,000 at a time at the start of a season. We're going to draw from there, all the authorization for payments will come through the finance department. So the rec department, they're gonna say, John Smith worked this day, please authorize to pay, and then finance will go in and pay it.
I got you.
So we'll monitor it, throughout the season if we need to load more funds, but we're not gonna put more than 5 or 10 grand at a time.
Okay. Now, and one last question, I guess this will go to the rec director. I noticed this is a one-year contract. Is this something, if it works well this first year, is this something that could be a longer-term contract?
I believe that Arbiter Pay does do longer contracts, so yes, we could entertain that.
Okay. Yeah, I think it makes sense. In this day and age, everything's kind of digital now. PayPal and, Cash App and all that kind of stuff works in your personal life. Why couldn't we adopt it in ours? So, that's all I got. Thanks.
Anybody else? I got a quick question, through either Bob or Chris. Right now, they submit the umpires and referees, they submit their time, right?
The umpires do not submit their time. We have staff here signing them in and whatnot. So we'll make sure that they're present for those games.
And then we issue them checks, correct, right now?
Correct, yes.
And what's the typical weight on that? Because my son does it, and sometimes there's a pretty good weight on getting the checks. This Arbiter would make this a quicker process, right?
Our Arbiter is instantaneous once I think their direct deposit to their account is not a physical check. So.
Yeah, that's it. Anybody else? Councilman Troyer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through the chair to the law director. Madam Law Director, since the legislation mentions Exhibit A, and this is not necessarily the correct Exhibit A, should we wait until we have the correct Exhibit A?
Through the chair to Councilman Troyer, obviously at the time this was drafted, it was believed that Exhibit A was the current version. I don't see any reason why you couldn't, at a later date, amend and accept a different payor agreement that would be the current version.
Okay.
So I think you have the opportunity to take whatever action you wish.
Okay, because, okay, thank you, Madam Law Director. Through the chair to the rec director, Chris, is this something that has to be done right away? Because it's for next year, so is there a time frame on this?
Basketball season is right around the corner, so we would like to have this in place for basketball season, and so if the sooner that we can get this, the better.
Okay, so it's actually going to start this year.
Well, our officials won't get paid until January, so
What's that?
our first games will be played the first week of January.
First week of January. I got you. Okay, all right. Thank you. That's it.
Anybody else? See none? What's the pleasure of council?
Motion to place on tonight's council agenda for first reading?
Support.
Okay. Motion made by Councilman Poindexter, supported by Councilman Mancini, to place on tonight's council agenda under letter M1, if I'm not mistaken, that's all we got. Discussion on the motion? See none? Oh. There's Poindexter and Mancini. See none? Carol, please call roll.
Poindexter,
Yes.
Mancini,
Yes.
McCorkle,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Troyer,
Yes.
Roberts,
Yes.
DeFour.
Yes.
And if we want to take co-sponsors, we could do it at the council meeting, correct?
You could do it now if you like. Get it out of the way.
Anybody want to co-sponsor this bill? We got everybody.
You can put me on there again. I'll go on there again.
You ran it again. Okay, that'll be on tonight's council agenda under letter M1. We have number 2, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with the Flock Group Incorporated and declare an emergency. This also is introduced by Mayor Orcutt. Mayor, you got the floor.
Thank you very much. This legislation here, this ordinance in front of you, it is time sensitive. This needs to be passed by the end of the year, and it is for 10 new flock cameras that will be installed throughout the city. Last year we had installed 10. This will be 10 more that we'll be placing in there. Section 2 shows you that the money needed for the aforesaid equipment and services. So it's two things that we're doing here. The equipment is $25,750, and the annual charge for the service is $24,000. And just to explain to everybody, so it's not confused, we have a fee that we pay already of around, I believe, $30,000. So this will be in addition to that. So this will be something that we continue to grow as the project over at the 176 acres continues to take shape. We will continue to put cameras in our city, and these right here will be license plate readers. And again, this is a time-sensitive piece of legislation for the chief to be able to apply for the grant, state grant funding for this.
Questions? Councilman Troyer?
Thank you, excuse me, thank you, Mr. Chair, through the chair to the mayor. Is, just if you look at the flock safety, the page that says flock safety on it, I mean, did you want 8 or 10? Because it says 8 on there.
We're purchasing, I believe it's 10. I believe we're doing 10. What page are you on, Councilman Troy?
Where it says flock safety in big letters across. It's right after the first page of the exhibit. So second page of the exhibit.
Oh, it is. I apologize. It is for 8.
Okay.
Maybe I'm just.
I wanted to
apologize.
make sure we're getting what you need.
Yeah, so it'll be for 8. That's what the grant is for 8 of them. I apologize. We had
Okay.
10 last year.
And then Mayor Safety Director, we never really got a presentation on what these are due and how they work. So my question is, I understand, yeah, they check the license plates and it'll run it basically, and if it's expired or there's a warrant or something like that, it dings our dispatch or police. Does it go to dispatch or does it go to police?
So what we do is we utilize this tool so it's a network. So the service that is provided through Flock is a service that you input information in there. All the Flock cameras are connected. So it could be a stolen vehicle out of Arizona that they put into the system. Whenever the license plate reader looks and reads that, it'll be able to send a signal, and then we are notified through dispatch.
Okay.
We also can be able to put certain times, dates, and times into the system. So if we believe that at 4:15 p.m. we're looking for a certain vehicle, we can be able to put the correct information, the criteria into the system, and be able to look for that license plate.
Okay, that sounds good. So it can't randomly track somebody that doesn't need to be tracked? Meaning, you go back later and say, let's see what this person did today and have it track their license. I mean, can that be done, or is that?
No, I don't think we don't do that. We can't randomly do background checks on people, things
Okay.
of that nature.
I just want to make sure, because
Yeah.
we don't want Big Brother. This is fine line.
Right.
And I know this is a great law enforcement tool.
Right.
So I imagine, I just anytime I think about it, I think of the one at a certain what do I say, intersection going towards the BMV. I'm just kind of thinking to myself how many times that thing goes, oh, expired. Will it do that, or does it have to be looking for that?
Listen, I don't have that information, but I almost think we do need that in the state. I think it's one thing where we should be looking for people that don't have car insurance is what they probably
Right,
should
yeah.
be looking for. But yeah, I just want to mention about Big Brother. We're not using this for Big Brother. And as we move forward with the project at the 176 acres and bringing the Browns here and putting up new camera systems here, that won't be for Big Brother. The intent is to make sure that we have it for traffic flow
Right.
purposes.
And that's on city property. I mean, the Dome will have its own security. I mean, they have face readers and everything.
Yeah.
My understanding, NFL does. So that's not our purview, so.
Well, we're still working on that development agreement. We'll see who owns all the roads and if they're dedicated or non-dedicated roads and things of that
I got
nature.
you, yeah, yet to be seen. Okay, thanks, Mayor.
Got it?
Yep.
Councilman Messina.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, Mayor, I'm glad you covered the professional services and exactly what it does. Councilman Poindexter kind of hit it on the last piece that was brought forward, how, things have changed. I mean, in every form. And I'm probably one of the last few to still kind of read the plain dealer a little bit. When you see cities, when they track somebody, when they catch somebody, and they catch a lot of bad guys and girls kind of this way, which is very good. And a lot of cities are using it, and I like it. I mean, it's a great system, and what it does is protects our city, and it protects the cities next to us. And any way we could, control crime, control the bad guys, control people doing what they ain't supposed to do, and if you ain't got your license, ain't got insurance, you shouldn't be driving. It's that simple. So if you get caught, you get caught. But on it, my question, you had mentioned we're going for a grant on this?
Yeah,
You had mentioned?
yes.
Yeah, so, did we already, we put the grant in for it, does it look pretty good, anything, we haven't heard
We
nothing, we
have
gotta
to
wait
pa-
till we get this passed?
We have to pass this first, and then we can submit for reimbursement,
Okay, thank you, all right, thank you.
for equipment only.
Hey, Jimmy? All good?
Yeah, thank you.
Councilman Poindexter.
Thank you, Chairman. Through the chair to the mayor. Mayor, this may sound like a dumb question, but I just want to are these actual cameras and they record like intersection and patterns and things of that nature and also read license plates, or do they just strictly read license plates?
I believe, and I can get you that information, I believe we're just doing license plates.
Okay, so it's not like traffic cameras. They're just strictly flagging plates.
No, we're working on, Chief Powers and Captain Stopiak are working on a completely different system which would network all of these together, flock license plate with the other type of cameras that we'll be putting in that we'll be able to see things that are further distance.
Okay, that's all I had. Thanks.
Anybody else? All good? Councilman Council President Salvatore.
Thank you. I just make a quick comment on it. I have seen a couple of demonstrations of the system, and just to answer some of your questions that you had, if it's the same systems that I've seen, it's designed to go right to the plate. It reads the plate, not the car, not the intersection. And the information from that number, if there's something on that plate number that they're looking for, someone driving on a driver's license, accident, some kind of crime that was committed tied to that plate, then it sends a signal that there's something going on, we have to react to that. But it's not randomly trying to check anybody or watch what you're doing. It's strictly things that are already pre-programmed. That's things that they're looking for.
I'm pretty informed, did you get pulled over because of one, or?
No, actually, I was watching a demonstration, they had your plate come up
Probably
seven
did.
times.
I could believe it.
That's all I had. Just wanted to let everybody know what I'd seen.
Got something else now?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. It does say in here, license plate recognition camera with vehicle fingerprint. I'm just wondering what that means, vehicle fingerprint. I mean, is it the color?
It's tied to the plate. If whatever car is registered to that particular
So
plate.
you're saying the fingerprint is the license plate?
Well, I don't know what they're calling a fingerprint, but that was my understanding of the demonstration that I saw.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Mayor?
I would just say that I would assume that your license plate is your fingerprint. I think it's just a phrase. But as I stated before, it's a database that you input information to. So if it's something that we're looking for a certain individual, and quite frankly, we're getting more guns off the street here in Brook Park. Not from our residents or anything like that, but there's people that they're looking for. And as soon as we get tipped off to it, we go and get the people, and it's a very efficient system.
Anybody else?
Awesome, thank you.
Pleasure, council.
Motion to place on tonight's council agenda under first reading?
Support. Go ahead, David.
Okay, motion made by Councilman DeFore, supported by Councilman McCorkle. Place on tonight's council agenda under the letter M2. We have discussion on the motion. Go on.
I just before I forget, is the mayor taking co-sponsors on
That
this?
was coming next.
Absolutely.
You good? You got it. Co-sponsors, everybody?
Everybody.
You good, Brad?
Yeah.
Okay, I
I
didn't.
raised my hand.
Okay. Okay, motion made by, like I said, let's repeat this, Councilman DeFore, supported by Councilman McCorkle. Discussion on the motion? See none? Ms. Carroll, call roll, please.
DeFore,
Yes.
McCorkle,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Vincini,
Yes.
Poindexter,
Yes.
Roberts,
Yes.
Troyer.
Yes.
Okay, that passed 7-0. That will be on tonight's council agenda under letter M2.
Okay, before I move the agenda, I'm gonna issue these numbers to these. The first one that you guys moved to the council agenda will be 11504-2025. The second item that you moved to M, will be up here as M2, will be 11505-2025.
Thank you.
Everybody got it? Okay, we'll move the agenda, and we're gonna go right to Recreation Committee, Councilman McCorkle.
Thank you, Council President. Rec Committee has one item tonight, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a lease agreement with U.S. Navy of baseball field located at 5572 Smith Road and declare an emergency, introduced by Mayor Oka. Mayor?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. The ordinance that you have in front of you is exactly the same ordinance that we have passed in the past, and the Exhibit A that you see is a very generic lease between the city and the U.S. Navy for the baseball field located at Weedle Park, well, near Weedle Park. Marine Field, for those that are familiar with that baseball field over there. We had that lease for many years, and then when the RNC came, they ended that lease, the government did, so that they could use that field in that area for Marines to be able to stay when we had the RNC here. It's been a few years that we've been working on this, and the Recreation Director and I have been able to work with the Marines, their realtor, to be able to bring this lease back to the city of Brook Park, and it's very simple. It doesn't cost us anything to be able to lease the property, except we maintain the grass and the baseball field, and we're okay, and we can have that. Now, part of that lease, it may be a little confusing to read, but Exhibit D, it's on the bottom right-hand corner. There's Exhibit A, and there's an Exhibit D. Again, this is the federal government, and if anybody's worked for the federal government, they have certain ways of doing things. It has conditions of leased premises, and then there's the general condition, and it has letter A, B, C, D, E, and F. If you turn to page 3 of the exhibit, which is page 2 of the Exhibit D, you're gonna see the conditions of the floors, walls, ceiling, exterior doors, bathroom doors, furnitures. There is none. There is no conditions. There's no money to this, except for the fact that we cut the grass. I understand that it may be a very generic lease that you're looking at. This is the same one that we signed with the federal government years ago. And I'm ready for any questions, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilman Roberts?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mayor, as you remember, probably yesterday, my son and you talking about this, and he was very happy to say he'd like his baseball field back there from his youth, and obviously I like having the basin there, but it's very sentimental too to get a baseball field back. I don't know if you remember this, but that's where me and you actually met for the first time, was on that baseball field back when our kids were yee-high. So if you don't mind, I'd like to co-sponsor this with you, and anyone else.
I'll accept any co-sponsor.
Co-sponsor. Council President Selt?
Yes. Of course I would.
You want, I thought you raised your hand. Do you want to say something?
You mustn't have been looking, I went like this.
Oh, you went up and down. All right. Councilman Poindexter?
Through the chair to the mayor. Mayor, I don't see like a duration here. Is it like indefinite? Is it an indefinite?
Yeah,
lease?
yes, and, you know, we can, just like they did, they can end at any time. They can end it at any time, and same with us, we can end this at any time.
So it's just a good neighborly agreement?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now, I will tell you, and I left this out of my opening remarks on this, be patient with this to the residents, be patient. It's gonna take us some time to get this thing back into correct order. The ball fields and John Connery, who takes care of the ball field, said it's gonna take some time to be able to get that back. So don't expect it to be available right away, but the idea is that once it is back and ready, it'll be a place that Director Wetmore can utilize for his programs, and overall, it'll have a better aesthetic look for what we have over at Weedo.
Council Mancini?
Oh, I'm sure the service garage, Johnny Connery will get that field ready for him, I'm sure of that. Mayor, me too. As Councilman Roberts said, I went to elementary school there, and I did it all. We had playground back there, I played touch football back there, softball, a little bit of everything, and I think it's really nice that you're doing this, we're doing this, with the services. I mean, we could never do enough for them, and I know it's just a baseball field, but, you know, it's also good to hear that there's gonna be, as Councilman Roberts was kind of nearing to, it's good to have a baseball field back there, because they've been back there for a long, long time, and it's just good in my heart to see that next to that beautiful retention pond back there, so it'll be a nice site when it's all done, so very good on this one. So, thank you, Chairman.
Council.
Anybody else?
Council President?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm excited about this. I think this is really great. Coaching in quite a few years in this town, I really liked playing back there. It was, we did pass a resolution many, many years ago that only children could play back there, no adult games, no adult softball. So I guess I'll ask that question to the mayor. Are you planning on using this for youth sports?
I think if we had adults there, we'd be pounding the ball into Harrison Drive.
That's why we passed that resolution years ago. It was strictly for our children. So the fences, the home run fences were set at the distance that children could put one over. But Mayor, I think this is great. I'm really excited about this.
So the game plan over there is to regain access to that field, and then also the rec director and I are working on putting swings in Weedo Park too. So I think that'll be a nice added touch. So we're trying to just bring that back online, so the neighborhood has something to utilize.
And the last question I don't remember, is there lights still up there, or are the lights taken down?
We will have to look into power. I believe power was all eliminated once we put the retention basin in.
Okay.
I don't think it would be a field that we would count on. I mean, if we did have some type of tournament ball or something, we'd utilize it during the day. But I think what we've done over the last several years is a good program where we have everything at Hussey and Forbes right now with our younger children.
I believe the lights at Huffsey were originally, were from over there,
They
if I'm
were,
not
that's
mistaken.
what I thought. They
Yeah.
came from over there, I think.
Yeah, it was Mayor Coyne was here and he moved them.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, he's talking. Council, what's your pleasure?
A motion to place on tonight's council agenda, letter M.
Motion is properly supported by Councilman Mancini. Any questions on the motion? Carol, please call roll.
Roberts.
Yes.
Mancini.
Yes.
McCorkle.
Yes?
Scott.
Yes.
Troyer.
Yes.
DeFour.
Yes.
Poindexter.
Yes.
Thank you, Carol. That is all I have. Council
Okay, before we move the agenda, we will place a number on that. That will be number 11506, and it'll appear under M3. I will move the agenda. To the Service Committee, Councilman Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Service Committee, welcome to the Service Committee. And we have one item, an ordinance authorizing the consulting engineer to prepare plans and specifications for the State Route 237 resurfacing project, PID 124042, and declaring an emergency, introduced by Mayor Orcutt. Mayor?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. The piece of legislation that you have in front of you here is for the project that we will have on Route 237. I'll be very brief here, and then I will defer to the city engineer. Section 5, if everybody can go to Section 5, talks about the money. We basically take in revenue from one source of the gas tax, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Director, and that is money that will be paying for the fees to be able to have the engineer prepare the specifications for this project. In Section 5, that money will come from our State Highway Improvement Fund, Fund number 241. And at this time, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to defer to the city engineer.
Mr. Piatek, floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mayor. So, yeah, this is for this State Route 237 resurfacing project. We've been working on this one for quite some time with ODOT and with NOACA. There's been a couple things that have kind of come up, but I think we finally got everything straightened out. Everybody knows what they're doing. Overall project length is 3,860 feet. So we're going to start just north of the Sheldon Road intersection, and we're going to stop just south of the Eastland intersection. It'll be a mill and fill project with some partial full-depth asphalt pavement repairs also included, and this was one of the reasons why things kind of got delayed a little bit. ODOT has agreed to replace the wearing surface on the bridge over IX Center Drive. So that'll be a concrete overlay. They've agreed to cover that at 100% state cost. So we're happy that that's been included in this project. NOACA has agreed to kick in 80% of the improvement costs up to $900,000. We have currently the project's estimated all in at $2.1 million. If you'll note, I believe it's section 3. There's another consultant identified in this legislation, MS Consultants. ODOT has, as of recent, instituted some new rules to have like an outside party review the plans that have been prepared, and that's basically a separate contract that consultant will have with the city. Right now, we are working to have plans completed and ready for construction in 2026. There's a chance that it might get pushed to 27, but we're working to get them done, basically get them done early, so that we could possibly partner this project with another project that ODOT is paying for, and it's the next section of 237, basically from Eastland to Brook Park Road. So we're trying to coordinate those two projects and sell them at the same time. They'd be separate, but we're hoping that maybe we would get some cost efficiencies and bring that overall construction cost down. So I guess that's kind of the synopsis, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Mayor, you accepting co-sponsors on this?
Absolutely.
Any questions? Okay. Well, council, what's your pleasure?
Motion to place on tonight's council agenda under letter M4.
Support.
So a motion to place on tonight's council agenda under letter M4 for first reading. The motion was made by Councilman Troyer, properly supported by Councilman Poindexter. Carol, could you please call the roll?
Troyer.
Yes.
Poindexter.
Yes.
DeFore.
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes.
Incini.
Yes.
McCorkle.
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
And that will conclude the service committee part of the meeting.
I think before we move the agenda here to adjourn, I'd like to issue that number will be 11507-2025, and that will appear under M4. Any questions? Councilman Mancini?
No, I was kind of looking, did we do M3? Council President.
Did we do M3?
Yeah, you went right from M2 to M4, but that's okay, we could adjourn.
Yeah, we did in
M3
three.
's
Good, good. I
M3 's
just want
in
to
the
double
record.
We
check.
did it.
I just want to make sure you're on top of your game over there before we get to this council
I
meeting.
hope we picked that up on that camera. Put your license plate number on it. All right, so are you gonna make a motion to adjourn? or
We'll
not?
make a motion to adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
I appreciate that. Motion made, properly supported to adjourn. Any questions on that motion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Insigne.
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes.
Troyer.
Yes.
DeFour.
Yes.
Poindexter.
Yes.
McCorkle.
Yes.
Scott.
Thank you, council. This meeting stands adjourned at 7:40. We're going to go right into our regular council meeting. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Brook Park City Council meeting being held on Wednesday, November 5th at 7:30. And we're running a few minutes late because the caucus meeting ran a little bit over, but so the official time starting will be at 7:41. Please call the roll.
Troyer.
Here.
Roberts.
Here.
DeFour.
Here.
Poindexter.
Here.
Mancini.
Here.
McCorkle.
Here.
Scott.
Here.
Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Over the agenda, we have nothing under C, so we'll go right to item D. Reports from standing committees. We're going to go right to the Aviation and Environmental Committee. Councilman DeFore.
Thank you very much, Mr. Council President. I have no legislation in my committee. That concludes my report.
Thank you. To the Board of Zoning Appeals, Councilman Mancini.
Thank you again, Mr. Chairman. We did have a meeting on Monday, November 3rd, last Monday night. We only had one request, and it was variance to install a second accessory structure at 6031 Glenway Drive. What they were looking for was a second unit, kind of storage unit. It was denied 6-0, but hopefully the resident will come back and hopefully go about the right measures, and we look forward to having them back. So that's all, Mr. Chairman, from the Zoning Committee.
Thank you. We'll move to the Finance Committee. Councilman Scott.
Thank you, Council Chair. Finance Committee has two items that were added to tonight's agenda. I also have two Board of Controls that were taking place after my last report. First one was on November 28th. There were 5 items on the list there. The 3 top were Building Technicians Corporation, roof repair and safety building. That was for $71,800. Next one was Crossroads Asphalt Recycling. That was for the 2025 resurfacing of Middlebrook and Kathleen. That was for $194,808.34. And the next one was $347,704 for Crossroads Asphalt Recycling. That was for Pemberton, Richard, and Hardin. And that total again was $347,704.20. That was on the October 28th Board of Controls. We had a Board of Controls today before the meeting. There were 15 items on that list. The 3 largest were Echo Electric, formerly they were Pepco. This was for bridge lighting, and it was use of NOPEC funds. That was for $178,967.27. Next one was Huntington Public Capcore. This was the first year of a 5-year lease contract for Motorola Solutions, software upgrade, maintenance, and equipment for cities' radio communications, and also the first year of a 5-year lease on the new ambulance. That was an add of $66,099.88 for a total of $240,443.37. And then we got one more, Crossroads Asphalt Recycling. This is for the 2025 Pemberton concrete work, and that was for $101,090.15. And that's all I got
Thank you.
for finance.
We'll move to the Legislative Committee, and I'll come right back to Councilman Scott.
The Legislative Committee's got nothing on tonight's agenda, and there's no report.
Thank you. We'll go to Parks and Recreation. Councilman McCorkle.
Thank you, Council President. I have no report this evening. Our next rec committee meeting will be Thursday, November 20th. I'll have a report after that. Thank you.
Thank you. Move to the Planning Committee. Councilman Poindexter.
Thank you, Council President. The Planning Committee has one item on tonight's agenda on second reading. And the Planning Commission met on Monday, November 3rd. There was two items on that agenda. The first one was an aesthetic approval for two awnings that are going to be repurposed and that were donated from Dante's Pizza to Audrey's Outreach. And it was for aesthetic approval to have them erected at Audrey's Outreach. That passed unanimously. And the other item was for our pump station over on Smith Road, and that's going to get a little bit of a facelift, sprucing up with paint and awnings and stuff like that, and that was approved also unanimously. Having said that, Council President, that's the end of my report.
Thank you. We'll move to the Safety Committee. Councilman Troyer.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. Safety Committee has nothing on tonight's agenda, but there is one thing in the committee that would be pulled out, and you'll see it on the Tuesday, November 11th caucus meeting. And it was not, there's no rush on it, so we'll do what we will do with it at that time. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you. Move to the Service Committee. Councilman Roberts.
Thank you, Council President. The Service Committee no longer has anything in committee because it is now officially on tonight's agenda for first reading. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move the agenda to reports from special committees, and we'll go right to Southwest General Health Center Trustee, Councilman Mancini.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. Welcome to the November 5th Southwest General Council Report. First, I go into growth. Outpatient volumes have been shown encouraging improvements, especially in radiology and Southwest General procedural areas. Southwest General has seen some volume growth through the Southwest General Medical Group. Also, emergency department volumes have been very high in the summer and the fall. Value, Southwest General operating income for the first half of 2025 has met Southwest General's targets. Lean operations, you hear me cover this a lot in different terms and different words, but Southwest General has made progress in improving operational efficiency. Agency staffing has established, and salary and benefits has been stabilized, and salary and benefits are as a percentage of operating revenue are generally and most improvably lower. Southwest General continues to have improvement in the organizational patient experience goals for the year and are meeting healthcare targets, very important. And that's all we have from Southwest General tonight, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move to the Berea Board of Education Representative, Councilman McCorkle.
Thank you, Council President. The school board meeting presented the report card for the year. There's a lot of information given out. Report cards based off of 7 categories, with some being achievement, graduation rate, progress, and gap closing. From 2024 to 2025, our star ratings in majority of the categories were the same or better. This year, we're 25 out of 35 stars compared to last year when they had a total of 23 stars. Graduation rate as of 2025 was 98.3%, which is the highest in the school's history. So, but this report card gives a lot of information. It helps with us to do better for the district, see what we're lacking and what we can improve on. And it's on YouTube. It's about an hour and a half, but there's a lot of good information on it. You can pull up the school board report if you have some time and watch that. So that is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Before I go to the next committee, can you put a copy of that in the council chambers in case anybody wants to take a look at it? Mm-hmm. All right, thank you. I move to the Technology and Innovation Council Representative, Councilman DeFore.
Thank you very much, Mr. Council President. The Technology and Innovation Committee has not met since my last report. We'll be meeting next Wednesday, and that concludes my report.
Thank you. We'll move the agenda. We have nothing under F, nothing under G. We're going to go right to H, reports and communications from the mayor. Mayor Orcutt.
Thank you very much, Mr. Council President. First, I just want to give an update on the Browns. We had the open house here for approximately 400 people showed up, and I just wanted to thank everybody that was involved with that. Public Works, Engineering, ODOT, Osborne Engineering, Haslam Sports Group. It was well attended. I think we did a very good job with explaining the folks the project of the 6 buildable units. So very successful. We will continue to have more updates for the residents, open houses. Currently, we are working right now, we have regularly scheduled meetings with NOACA every 2 weeks. We are working with ODOT. We are also working with the City of Cleveland. We had a meeting with Cleveland Hopkins International Airport folks. So we're collaborating with every single entity in and around this, this project that we're working on for the Cleveland Browns. We've also are working bi-weekly meetings we have scheduled with Middleburg Heights as well. So we've been having a lot of collaboration there. This evening, we will be introducing a piece of legislation to City Council for their approval. And now we're going to start moving forward with land transfers. You're going to start seeing different things with the preliminary development plans. So there's going to be a lot of legislation moving forward through City Council to be able to get approval so that we can put this agreement in place. So I just wanted to thank everybody that was involved thus far, and we continue to keep growing the team. And also I wanted to mention that, publicly that, we have started dialogue. I think the county executive has reached out to our Public Works Director yesterday, and we are engaging with him, and we look forward to continued collaboration as this project continues, and we want to make sure that we're working with everybody to share our concerns and to hear their concerns as well, so we can work through that. A couple of thank yous from the rec department. For the folks that haven't seen it yet, take a look in our concession area. That area is getting refurbished right now, has brand new furniture. It's a nice little cafe that we're building over there, and they've done a great job, and thank you to Rec Director Wetmore for that. Also, we did a voluntary food drive last Sunday, and I just want to thank everybody that was involved with that, and all of our residents and folks that came in from other cities to be able to donate. All of those donations went over to Audrey's. It was very, very successful. And then last but not least at all, why we're here today, I want to thank all of our veterans as we are approaching Veterans Day next week. Remember to thank the veterans that are out there. I'd like to say that I appreciate their sacrifices to our country. And also wanted to mention that a few days after Veterans Day, we will be hosting an appreciation dinner at the American Legion Post 610 on Sheldon Road on 11/14. That'll be Friday from 5 to 7:30 p.m. And a lot of the council members come up there, and they volunteer as well too. So it's just a great community event. We'd love to see everybody up there. With that, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mayor. Any questions to the mayor? Councilman Mancini.
Thank you again, Mr. Chairman. Mayor, a few things I want to cover with you if I could real quick. The first one, I've seen, like a lot of my colleagues, we've seen a lot of people with, we had here Tuesday that you had just discussed, obviously yesterday. And as we're all out and about, many of the things we go to, one of the things, a few of the things I'm going to bring up, one of the things I'm hearing is the aggressive panhandlers coming to the door. I probably heard it 3 or 4 times. And when I get them phone calls, what I tell them is call, whether they got a tag or not, and they're coming to some houses, no solicitors, call the police right away. Right away, if they're being overly aggressive. One kept coming to the same house, and then when they came the 3rd time, the wife pulled up and he says, well, I'm here to talk to her, and that really upset my resident, and would any of you guys, I am here to talk to her, not you. He didn't like it, and so he called and very upset. So what I did, I said, well, you shouldn't really actually call me, you should be calling the police. Your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, this is the very first time I'm hearing of it. Never received a phone call, never received an email.
Like I just said the same thing.
Yeah.
I got the phone call, right?
When did you receive the phone call?
2 had told me and 1 had called. So
When did they call you?
last week.
Last week, okay.
I mean, it was Langer. If I'll give you all the streets
Last
and the
week,
people.
and,
Yeah.
and when you say panhandling, were they looking?
I could give you the company.
Were they looking for money?
No, AT&T.
Oh, solicitors.
Yeah,
So they were
AT&T.
they were there for utility. Okay.
Yeah, and the last one, when was this? Yesterday, I was told on Holland Road, he's got the no solicitors and they still come, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you let me know. The sooner you can let us know, that'll help us be able to mitigate that issue. So, waiting till a council meeting to tell me about it would probably not be the best way of doing it. I'll just,
No, I agree.
what I'm
I
gonna
agree.
answer with a suggestion. Call us immediately, okay? Call the police immediately. If you can't make the call to the police, I'll call the police immediately. They do need to be registered to be able to go door to door with people. We do get updates for the do not knock list frequently. I'd say almost once a month, maybe sometimes twice a month. So people are utilizing that. And if they have the sticker on the front window, that is advised to them when they come and get their permission to be able to go door to door. So they should know that. But if people are getting aggressive, we send police out there. We've gotten those phone calls at City Hall ourselves, and immediately we send a patrol car out there. We make sure we let them know exactly, hey, you're not supposed to be knocking on these doors. If you don't have the credentials, you have to go to the police department, and that's issued by the chief of police.
Right, exactly, and that's what I told them. Call the police right away. Your first call shouldn't be your councilman. Your first call should be to the police, and I did state that. And, I mean, I could have the residents call you too, or, somebody else who's interested. But, yeah, so I just wanted to bring that out, because I know it's winter's coming and they won't be out a lot, but I just want to make sure that we don't become that city, that's all. But
Okay.
the second thing, the roof here. I think, we've been playing, basketball, I got 40-something guys. I had to send out the email tonight. Councilman DeForest stopped the other day to see the action, but it's been great. I mean, with all the work going on here, all the work on the roof, Mr. Director, one time we've only had to cancel, and that's because they were right above us. So I think everything's been going great with all that construction. Has been going on, since the tornado? It was really almost a hurricane. So I mean, I'm very ecstatic about that. Our building was built in 1973, this building. It's had additions, it's had this, it's had that. There's always gonna be some issue. I don't care what we fix or what we do. It's a big building, and it's a flat roof, and there's always gonna be things that we'll have to attend to. But I think, I wanna say for my guys and kids that play too, probably and their parents, it's been great in there. We appreciate that it's open what it is, because there's probably a time or two, maybe, I don't know, we might not have them, but a lot of people really appreciate the gym in this building being open as much as it is with the construction going up there. And the third one is, I've heard a lot, is the walking over at Kennedy. They love that open space. They like to get a walking track. Yeah, I had to tell you that, yeah. Walking track, this is a quarter mile, this is a half mile. So, yeah, a lot of people are looking forward. It's looking great over there, but they could get a walking track.
If I may.
Sure.
I'll be brief. The roof replacement, we appreciate everybody's patience. That project obviously couldn't start last winter. We had a very rainy spring. I believe we might have gotten up there at the end of March, but definitely it seemed like it was April. And it's a very complicated replacement. The material that we have up there is that foam, and there's a couple of layers of the foam. And we're only able to work in sections every single day. So we'll tear off a section, and then we have to lay the new roof. Tear off a section the next day. And I believe they're here 5 in the morning. So they're working extremely hard on there. And then sometimes where there's an existing section with the new section, if it rains in between, we may still get some water. It's unfortunate. The rec department has done a great job. They're running around, putting those fires out, or cleaning up all the water, I should say. And they've been doing a good job. So we appreciate everybody's patience. It's very time consuming. It's a very hard application. Now, the roof that we're putting up there is the right roof that'll actually be something that won't give us problems. That existing roof that we've had has given us problems since day one. The Kennedy Walking Track Service Department has done a really good job of adding to it. We did have a little breach, a little break in an area. We filled that out. We already have plans next year. We'll be introducing it with the budget to replace some concrete sidewalks between the water park and City Hall. And I believe we're going to do the areas between Huffsey and Forbes and repair that area over there. But we'll continue to keep doing every year, just keep adding more and more sidewalks. And the idea is to be able to put, we're gonna have like a a board that will say if you walk this outer perimeter, it's X amount of distance. And then eventually we'll have other areas that will show a different distance as well too. So just a little bit at a time. We're doing as much as we possibly can with the service department members that we have.
Perfect. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilman DeFore.
Thank you very much, Mr. Council President. First of all, Jimmy, thank you for the invite. You know, it's the same entertainment value, but cheaper than a Cavs game, so thank you for.
The thing is, you didn't play.
Yeah,
That was the
thank you for
only
having me on.
problem.
But through the chair to the mayor, I just wanted to say that, you know, that open house that we had was honestly an incredible event. You know, I know that the vast majority of the residents that I talked to that came in with questions had them answered, left feeling really good about the project. It was great, you know, seeing folks from NOACA, from ODOT, from the county, from Cleveland there. I think it was just a great regional event about something that's taking place in our community, so thank you for that. The only comment that I really had was that I know that there were some folks that reached out to me that are disappointed they couldn't make it, and they're really looking forward to the event in December. So as soon as we get that scheduled, we'd like to tell them about it and make sure that they can make it to that one too.
Absolutely. I think there's going to be more than just December as we continue to, build this project out. And I'm not going to shy away from it. And thank you. I think it was well attended as well. And I failed to mention that there's people here from Parma Heights, Middleburg Heights, Berea, Cleveland. Councilman Slife was here, Director of NOACA, Grace Galucci, everybody. But this project right here, I'm not going to shy away from it, for some reason has been scrutinized in a very interesting way, which is good. We want it scrutinized. That's a good thing. But to be able to have the correct narrative, because I have witnessed, and I've been to a NOACA meeting where I wasn't able to present or have any transparency, which should never, ever happen again, in my opinion. We want to be able to make sure that we're out there providing that narrative that's correct, the facts that are correct. So we will be able to do that over a series of meetings, and I think we'll have to continue to do that. And that's going to involve engineering, that's going to involve our safety forces. Any concerns that people have actually help the project, because, out of all the ideas that we think of when we throw on the conference table, there might be something out there. There may be a little nugget out there that we didn't think about that somebody else can bring up. So we like those town hall meetings. We had one on May 8th, was our first one where we broke out and did that over at the elementary school. It's pretty well attended, but we had less than 6 questions. I don't know if we're presenting that well, or maybe nobody's concerned. But at the same token, we're going to do a series of them. Yeah. And I'll just keep you up to date. Right now, the feasibility study's now done. We're analyzing it, and we're making sure that, okay, we have all this information, but we also have all these other concerns, right, and how do we take care of those concerns? And once we have even more of that information, that's when it will be better to present it to everybody.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yep. Councilman Troyer.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. Through the chair to the mayor. Mayor, getting on that same topic, and I did bring this up, and at the meeting, a couple of people mentioned it to me, and it's like they basically said, a couple of people I talked to, and the last lady said that ODOT has a little problem with having 2 exits off of 71 South, and I'm concerned that, my concern is that the exit 71 South to Angle Road is retained in much the same design that it is now. I know that's where the flyover is, because she said that ODOT doesn't want to even make it go to Angle, it just wants to make it go to Snow. And I thought that was pretty crazy, so to speak. So, and she said, this is something ODOT's talking about. So I just want to, mention that, because this is what I was told there. But that would be not really very bad for a lot of people coming home from work, at that exit, not being able to go to Angle Road. So, and it should, it should be easier. I talked to some other people, and they said there might be a reason for that, and I won't mention it here, but to have that just go to Snow Road, then where do you go to get to Angle? Mm-hmm. And they're saying, and she says, well, ODOT thinks it's redundant to have both, the flyover, but the flyover brings you across the railroad tracks, then you have to come back on angle across the railroad tracks. And that would create a problem, so.
I can answer that pretty simply. So the open house was criteria for the track funding. The folks that were here presenting, that were up against that wall and this wall, were from Osborne Engineering. They're the ones that have designed the 6 buildable units. The folks that were against the back wall were from DRG, which is Davie Resource Group, and they were the ones that performed the traffic study. So those were the folks in the room that were administering any answers to questions that the folks had. So ODOT themselves were not here to present to say what they liked or didn't like. ODOT is analyzing the feasibility study currently. The meetings that we have that are every week and bi-weekly, and I was mentioning in my report, that are with ODOT, is we are analyzing any concerns. You know, ODOT does this for any project. They're gonna look at all of this. They're gonna have so many different comments. And obviously, as I kind of mentioned in my report before, for whatever certain reasons, there's scrutiny towards this. They're being careful because anybody that turns on the television can see that the Browns are coming to Brook Park, but some people are just making it extremely difficult to work together to have that happen. I know for a fact that ODOT is taking extra care because of that, because I meet with them that often. So to say that that flyover bridge is gonna go to Snow Road, and that's gonna be their opinion, that has not been determined. That is nothing that I have heard yet. And just so everybody understands, I believe you're talking 71 southbound?
Okay, what she said is, not the flyover.
Okay.
The one that comes down and then abruptly turns.
That's where I'm going.
To angle.
Are you talking 71 southbound?
Right, and so
Okay.
what she told me was that ODOT has not decided, but they think it's, this is what the lady over here at the table told me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my concern, is that, you know, that gets straightened out.
That lady I think that you were talking about over here was Joan from Osborne Engineering.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So the idea, 71 southbound right now has 2 exits. One that'll take you directly, basically straight to Snow Road, which then you can only make a right, which heads to Snow Road West to the airport. There is a second one that bends and splits off and goes towards Angle Road and runs parallel with the Snow Road Bridge. The recommendations through the feasibility study will be able to still have that there, but push that south just a little bit, just moving it south a little bit to make room for the flyover bridge to be able to be installed, essentially in the same area, just next to it. But again, nothing is concrete. The Osborne Engineering team has introduced 6 buildable units that are being analyzed by NOACA and by ODOT right now. Will there be some changes? There could be, but we're just not there yet to be able to have that determination.
well, like I said, my concern was, she said that, she said it, ODOT thinks that you just go right to Snow Road and not go to Angle. So, and that would not be good at all
Yeah.
for a lot of people.
Well, what we're gonna do is this, we're gonna make sure that the experts are the ones that are going to provide us the information. I rely on our technical expert, Ed Piatek, that will be able to make sure and filter it for the city, that everything is up and up. I'll be honest with you, there's been stuff that our city engineer has done to this project that has provided extra safety and has told engineering teams that's not happening in our town. So we've actually, Ed's done a very good job with this.
All right, thank you, Mayor.
Thank
Thank you, that's it.
you.
Thank you. We'll move the agenda to reports and communications from departments, commissions, and other public officials. And we'll start with our law director, Carol Horvath. Carol?
Thank you very much, Mr. Council President. Tonight, I'd like to focus on one particular civil matter that is pending before the court, and that is the case of Brook Park versus Cleveland. As you all know, we had an adverse decision back in September. I want to inform council that after looking at the decision, analyzing it with co-counsel, and looking at some case law and some other information, we determined that it was appropriate to file a notice of appeal with the Court of Appeals. We did so, and we asked the clerk to send over all of the transcripts and records that were made during the course of the trial. And so currently the case is before the Court of Appeals, and any proceedings in the trial court are stayed. So I wanted to inform council of that. Obviously, we worked with both Mayor Orcutt discussing the matter and Finance Director McGann, and we feel this is the appropriate action to take. Probably before the end of the week, we'll have a letter out to the residents letting them know what action we took. And with that, I don't want to comment on any of the specifics of the appeal, but if anyone has any questions, please give me a call. And that is the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Move to our Finance Director, Robert McGann. Bob?
Thank you, Council President. Finance Department has closed for the month of October, and monthly reports have been made available on the website. Earlier today, the Auditor State's Office released to the public the City of Brook Park's audit report for 2024. As you're aware, the city received an unmodified opinion or clean audit report. We have reached out to our printer to make bound copies of the audit report available to each member of council, along with any member of the public who would like a copy. So please reach out to the Finance Department to request a copy. Lastly, we are just over a month into the federal shutdown, and I'd like to address the impact that it has on the city. Without getting into specifics on income tax, NASA Glenn Research is one of our largest employers in the city of Brook Park, and we rely heavily on their income tax dollars to operate. All the federal employees over at NASA are either furloughed or working without paychecks. Because those employees are not receiving paychecks, the city is unable to collect income tax dollars. Currently, we are monitoring our budget very closely as the end of the year approaches because we are not receiving those income tax dollars. Although this does create a strain on the current budget, once the federal government reopens, we anticipate we will receive all the income tax dollars going back to October 1st. And with that, that concludes my report.
Thank you. We'll move to our Recreation Director, Chris Wetmore. Chris?
Thank you, Council President. Winter events tree lighting will be 11/28, and we will have Santa tours on the 29th of November, and our pancake breakfast with Santa will be on December 6th. The Rec Department would like to invite all of council and local businesses to participate in the tree lighting parade on the 28th, which will start at 6 p.m. Please contact myself or any of the rec employees if you are interested. Basketball practices will be starting the week of the 11/17. The mini gym floor refinishing project started this past Monday and should be completed next week, and that's moving along. It looks fantastic back there. And our next rec commission meeting will be on 11/20. That concludes my report.
Thank you. We'll move to our Service Director, Brian Byers. Brian?
Thank you, Mr. Council President. We're wrapping up our 2025 roads program. Right now, Crossroads is going to be crack sealing the roads that we did in 2023. As we stated when we introduced this program, that we wanted to, get longevity out of them. So, this year we will be doing the 2023 roads that were resurfaced. Next year we will be doing crack sealing the 2024, and so on and so forth to get the longevity out of those roads. Leaf trucks have been out. Right now we have 2 trucks out, and as the volume increases, we will go to 3 and 4 trucks until all the leaves are picked up and weather permitting. Our last shredded event of the year produced about 3.14 tons of paper from the shredded event. Also, next Tuesday, November 11th, the Service Department will be closed in observance of Veterans Day. That means bulk pickup and rubbish pickup will be pushed back a day beginning Tuesday. For instance, if Tuesday is your rubbish day, it will be now pushed back to Wednesday. If Wednesday is your rubbish day, it will be pushed to Thursday. If Thursday is your rubbish day, it will be pushed to Friday. And if Friday is your rubbish day, it will be picked up on Saturday. Friday, November 21st will be the last day for drop-off at the service garage for weekdays only. Will continue Saturdays only until April, weather permitting, 9 to 1. Gas line replacement is completed in the Ashland-Harrison neighborhood. Today, Ganem construction is starting they're starting replacing the sidewalks that were removed. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Move to our city engineer, Ed Piatek. Ed?
No report this evening, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions to any of the department heads or elected officials? Seeing none, we'll move the agenda. You know what, I have one question. I have a question for our recreation director. I did have somebody ask me about how they go about coaching basketball, and I said, I know they have, there's some kind of process that you go under, that you follow, I'm sure. Can you kind of walk me through that? How do you determine who's going to coach whatever team in basketball?
So when you sign your child up and you can volunteer at that point on the registration form, we like to utilize the coaches that we've had previous years. And then if we're looking for a new coach, then we'll go through that process. We find that basketball, we don't generally have too many openings for it because we have quite a few returning coaches. Baseball and softball is where we kind of find a greater need for coaches. But yeah, put it on there on the registration form that you're interested in coaches, and we would definitely, if not a head coach, definitely use you as an assistant coach.
I asked that, I kind of knew the answer, but I asked you because I know the guy watches our meetings every Tuesday, and I do know that our basketball program is very successful, and the guys keep coming back. It's very hard to get a team.
It is very hard to get a team, correct, yes.
Thank you. Thank you for that answer. We have nothing under, we have other communications, petitions, verbal approval, and introduction of new legislation. Mayor? I have a piece of legislation here authorizing the acceptance of the conveyance of parcels of real estate property from HSG BP Development LLC, approving the conveyance of said parcels to HSG BP Development LLC as provided by section 5709.41B of the Ohio Revised Code, authorizing a transfer and indemnification agreement in connection with such real estate transfer and declaring an emergency, introduced by Mayor Orcutt. We'll place that in the legislative committee. Anything else? Anyone else have anything to come forward? All right, we'll move the agenda. Mayor, do you have any appointments or? Okay, we'll move the agenda to remarks from the audience on any subject matter. This is an opportunity for anyone in the audience to come forward and ask the council or the mayor any questions. And just ask if to state your name and address for the record if you wish.
Albert Wolf, 5880 Wingwood Drive. When you were mentioning about those cameras, flock cameras, I believe is how you pronounce it. One of the more important aspects of that, if you ever notice when they have a missing child or an abducted child, and you're going down 71, they show the vehicle, and maybe a gray Chevy or whatever the case, and 9 out of 10 times, I'd say they have the license plate number. So, and that comes from if they've been abducted in Cincinnati, Columbus, whatever, the child has been taken. It's a speedier, hopefully a speedier recovery when they can just look at, those license plate cameras can read that. The other thing, Ed, if you get some time, I'd like to have you engineer that front row seat so I don't trip over you know, the thing. If a couple extra minutes or so, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Don't climb up ladders. Elizabeth Sayers, 23065 Cedar Point Road, Brook Park, Ohio. I just wanted to come up here and ask for the right report. This is the fourth report I received. The assessment report, I wanted to see it say structural engineer report. I have 4 of these now. And I would just like the public record of the structural engineer report on the rec center. And when you were talking about the solicitors that come door to door, all people have to do is ask them if they got their permit or anything, because the ones over on the west side hood where I live at, when you ask them those questions, they run, get in their cars, and they leave. And they only come over there between the hours of 4 and 7 at night. So people just ask them, do you have permission to be doing this? And show me the paperwork that you got from the city to do it. And they all run away, so they don't bother you, no matter if you have a sign or not on your door. But, yeah, I'd like the public record of the structural engineer report on this building. I got a right to it, and I've been waiting for a long time for it, and I'd like to have it as soon as possible. And it's, like I said, it's public record. I have a right to the public records. So anyway, have a nice day, and I gotta leave before my knee collapses. I twisted it. So thank you, and congratulations, everybody, and have a good night.
Thank you.
Hi. Seems so familiar. So since 2017, Ed, I have talked to you about the 2013 Protecting Students from Sexual and Violent Predators. And to this date, none of you still know what it's about. My mother has covered the cost of the copies that I pass out to you all individually. I've passed out pens, I've sent messages, and I want to thank you all for doing it the same way, for the evidence of your deliberate indifference in protecting children in your jurisdiction. Have a great night.
I'm a resident of Ward 1. Tommy Boy, good to see you. Good to see you go bye-bye, too.
Hold on. This is not the proper place to be doing that kind of stuff. That is improper.
It's freedom of speech,
I'm
First
the chairman
Amendment,
here. I'll
sir.
make the rules.
Don't argue with me. You're interrupting my
I'm not
time. Would
arguing.
you
I'm
like to
telling you how
reset
it's
it?
going to be. You don't make derogatory remarks to members of this body, elected officials by the community, by people that live here. The
You
people
want to
that live
reset
here
my
put
time?
everybody here.
You want to reset my time? You're using my time. This is my time.
We'll start your clock right now, but be a gentleman up there.
Okay. The reason I came up here is you guys are talking about flock cameras.
Did you state your name and address?
Yes, I said resident of Ward 1. Yes. Tommy Boy knows who I am.
It's not good enough.
So
Sorry, we got it.
you can start the timer now.
It's starting right now. Go ahead.
You guys are talking about flock cameras. Before you start putting them all over the city, I think you guys can do your research. Because flock does not just look for license plates. Every single car that goes by a flock camera is recorded and stored in a database. Okay? And when you're talking about car fingerprint, the car fingerprint is the style of car, the color. Does it have damages? Does it have smoke-tinted windows? That's the fingerprint of the car. If you want to do some research on it, you can look up, here, I need my eyeballs here. There's really good articles about it from the American Civil the American Civil Liberties Union, the Institution for Justice, and the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. They got some really good articles about flock cameras and the Fourth Amendment violations that flock is doing. Because it's not just looking for that bad guy, it's recording every car that goes by there and identifies every single car and is stored in a database. Okay, and there's also, you might want to do some research and look up some of the civil rights attorneys online that have prosecuted cities and police departments because they had a bad cop in the department that was using it to stalk people and to also falsely arrest people. So before you start spending taxpayer dollars, do some better research and be honest with all the citizens here in Brook Park. Second thing, I know Tom's gone. I think the rest of you guys are still here. If you guys have any social media pages to disseminate information to the public, you might want to look up Supreme Court case Linky versus Freed, citation number 601 US 187, docket number 22661. Okay? Basically what this Supreme Court case says, as a public entity, you cannot delete, block any comments by the public on your page if you let anybody from the public comment on your page. So like the police department that limits who can post there, unless that is administrative only, and they let certain people of the public post, that's in violation of the First Amendment. And the last thing I got to say is, I think it was 2 council meetings ago I was watching, and the guy was up here complaining about the overnight parking on his street and all the tickets he was given. To me, what's the sense of 4 hours a night you can't park on the city street? Is it safety reasons? And if so, how does it make the city safer? And then if you really want to talk about parking, your Leos are the biggest violators in this city in regards to breaking parking laws. I come up here to the rec center, you have police vehicles parked on the sidewalk right in front of a sign that says no parking. Is it legal for a law enforcement officer to park on a sidewalk in front of a no parking sign? No. They have to follow the same laws that we do. And if my car was parked there, I'd get towed in a ticket. So you do need to inform your law enforcement officers, obey the law. No parking on sidewalks, no parking in front of no parking signs. That's my time. You guys have a great night.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing no one, we'll come back to the dais. I'll move the agenda. Ordinance and resolutions on first reading. I've got it right here. Have an ordinance authorizing and whatever yet, ordinance number 11504-2025. An ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor to accept the contract terms and conditions of the web-based arbitrary pay, arbitrary sports LLC, authorizing the administrator for said program for the purpose of scheduling and paying referees for youth sports programs, authorizing an amount not to exceed $30,000 for said service for a period covering the calendar year of 2026 and declaring an emergency, introduced by Mayor Urquhart and Council of the Whole.
Move to suspend.
Support.
Motion made, properly supported. Any questions on that motion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Poindexter,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
McCorkle.
Yes.
Mancini.
Yes.
DeFour,
Yes.
Roberts,
Yes.
Troyer.
Yes.
Suspension is passed.
Move to adopt.
Support.
Motion made, properly supported to adopt. Any questions on that motion?
Mr. Council President?
Yes, sir.
Just, I mean, as I mentioned during the caucus meeting, let's just make sure to have before we execute the agreement, make sure the law department looks at the updated payor sheet. Is all. Thank you.
So noted.
Thank you.
Any questions on the motion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mancini.
Yes.
DeFour,
Yes.
McCorkle,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Troyer,
Yes.
Roberts,
Yes.
Poindexter.
Yes.
Ordinance 11504-2025 is passed under suspension of the rules. We'll go to M2, ordinance number 11505-2025. An ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Flock Group Incorporated and declaring an emergency, introduced by Mayor Urquhart and Council of the Whole. What is your pleasure?
Move to suspend.
Support.
Motion made, properly supported to suspend. Any questions on the motion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mancini.
Yes.
McCorkle.
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Troyer,
Yes.
Roberts.